You're watching Reality Check. Criticism has mounted after the BJP-run Tripura government arrested two women journalists, Samriddhi Sakunya and Swarna Jha, for reporting on the recent communal violence in Tripura. Both were granted bail earlier today. The arrests reflect the government's troubling efforts in trying to control the narrative after the northeastern state, which has rarely witnessed communal tension, was locked by targeted religious violence against Muslims late last month. Instead of cracking down on those who instigated the violence, like the VHP, which took out inflammatory marches against attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh, processions in which terrible anti-Muslim slogans were chanted, the Tripura police went as far as to book over 100 individuals and social media handles under stringent anti-terror laws for commenting on the violence, including lawyers and journalists, while only 8 arrests were made so far, at least at last count, of those involved in the violence. Now, the Tripura government seems to have stepped up its shoot the messenger approach after the centre, worried about the spreading aftershocks of Tripura into states like Maharashtra, has entered the picture, downplaying, even denying the extent of the violence, particularly denying the targeting of mosques. This is the context which some say led to the arrests of Samriddhi and Swarna Jha, reporters for the online news portal HW News Network. The police charging them with 6 different sections, including spreading communal disharmony. Their crime? Ground reporting from the violence-hit areas, especially pointing to damaged or burnt mosques, like in this report by Sakunya from a burnt-out mosque in the Dargah Bazaar area of Tripura's Gomti district. But in a statement, the police said on the arrest of these journalists that the journalists claimed that a Quran was burnt in that mosque fire. The police say that an FIR was already registered in that mosque fire, but no damaged books or documents were brought to their notice. The journalists were asked to come to Agartala, Tripura's capital, but quote-unquote escaped to Assam. Now, while the police say the journalists have been arrested on the basis of a suo motu case registered by them, the police appear to have taken their cue from an FIR filed against the journalists by the VHP, which claimed the reporters were trying to malign the VHP and the BJP-led Tripura government. The police action also comes just 24 hours after the Home Ministry had issued a strong statement calling the media reports fake and fabricated, saying there's no damage to any mosque in Tripura, including the one in Gomti district. But not only is the MHA's claim contradicted by this ground report, by these pictures, which actually shows that the mosque in Gomti area was badly burnt, but also contradicted by the police's own version of events, which claims that the mosque had indeed been burnt and an FIR registered in the matter, even though the MHA says that there was no damage done. So no damage done to any mosque, says the MHA, but the Tripura police says that the mosque was burnt down and an FIR registered. Now, HW Network has put out a statement saying the arrests of its journalists is sheer harassment and it's a targeting of the press. The Editors Guild has also condemned the action, saying that they demand the immediate release of these journalists and the restoration of their freedom to travel. All right, let me go across to panel, but let me first start with Justice Deepak Gupta, former Supreme Court judge. Thank you very much indeed, Justice Gupta. We are not having this conversation for the first time about the continuing crackdown on civil liberties, the whole spectrum, including the freedom of the press. But this idea that you're now not just filing cases, you're actually arresting journalists who are basically going about their job.
No, this is terrible. It's very sad, in fact, to see something. I mean, they're doing their work, they're going, they're reporting. And even the police says the mosque was burned down. The only issue is whether the Quran was inside the mosque or not, or whether, supposing, let's assume, play the devil's advocate and assume that this is wrong, this statement. Is it good enough to arrest them? Whereas when you don't arrest those people who started the violence, who burned down the mosque, it is true that it was a reaction to what happened in Bangladesh, where a lot of Hindu temples were burned down.
Yeah.
But that doesn't give any license or liberty to raise highly provocative slogans And when some lawyers, human
Yes, of
rights
course.
activists go to Tripura, they're all charged with, I mean, UAPA. And I mean, are they terrorists that you charge them with UAPA?
No, no,
It's,
you know, even on the...
this is not, you
Yeah.
see, the police must realize that the government and the country are not synonymous.
Yeah. You know, on the
The
burning
country
of
is
the
different
Quran,
and the,
I wanted to just
people in
say,
power are
because,
different.
right, because there actually that video report which we're showing goes on to actually show some burned documents. We've chosen not to show it. And the reporter is asking, the local is there with her and he's asking and she's saying, what is this? And the local says that this is a Quran. And she says, okay, this is a Quran. So in that sense, this is what she was told. Right now, the police are turning around and saying when they did their investigation, they didn't find any such documents or it wasn't brought to their notice, which may well be the case. But when she was there, she said she saw it. But as you said, even if there are conflicting views, legally, it doesn't merit arrests, right? I mean,
So supposing tomorrow, Srinivasan, it is found that actually a Quran was burned down.
Yeah.
Will these police officials arrest all these people who have said there was no Quran which was burned down? Or will they arrest those people who have said that no mosque was burned down?
yeah.
That they will not do.
Right. So this practice, as you said, where you seem to shoot the messenger rather than go after those who are guilty. The only good thing here, of course, in this case, we don't know the full details, but the court did not find it a fit case to agree to the police request to grant them police custody or even judicial custody. They're out on bail. We're not sure if they've been released, but I think they're out.
Thank God for small mercies.
Thank God for small mercies. But overall, is this now becoming a worrying pattern that we're seeing, in state after state?
It is very worrying. And you know, Srinivasan, I've been Chief Justice of Tripura for 3 years. And I was very proud of the fact that that was one state where caste and religion never made any difference to anything.
Right.
And this was I was there up till 2016,
Yes.
May, and I never found caste or religion playing any role whatsoever in social life.
Right. No, that's so true. This is not a state which has seen sectarian violence of this kind, which is what has shocked so many people. But really,
No,
sir,
there has been violence. There has been violence between the tribals and the non-tribals.
Yeah.
Like for many, many years.
Yeah, but
on
communal violence,
these-
communal violence is, I think, is rare. But I want to ask you in conclusion, though, that what do you make of this? Because there has been so much, so much jurisprudence. There's been so many judgments on the police, law enforcement authorities to exercise greater discretion, greater restraint, especially when it comes to the media and so on. But why is that not getting translated into practice? Is it also because of the political pressures?
Yeah, no, the police officials are no longer true to their oath. I mean, they take an oath to uphold the Constitution. And for them, all citizens should be equal. But they are obviously not behaving in that fashion. It's sad that it's a very partisan sort of approach, which I feel is happening in Tripura.
Right. Okay, deeply worrying, but let's see how it pans out. Thank you so much indeed, Justice Gupta, for joining us. Let's now open it up to panel. We have with us Piyush Kanti Biswas. He's the advocate for the journalists. He's also ex-state president of the Congress, of the Tripura Congress. We have Pramod Swami, leader BJP Assam, and Yashovardhan Azad, a former IPS officer. Let me just start with you, Piyush Kanti Biswas, because you were arguing the case for these young women. Now, what is it like? What was the crux of your argument? I understand it would be that they're being harassed, and this is not, that they've not committed an offense. But why is it that the court then didn't agree to the police and gave them custody? Did they accept your argument?
Yes, court has accepted my argument. Practically what happened, allegations in the FIR, that was that they have published a statement in WhatsApp, according to the police, that was fake.
Right.
They are saying that
On Twitter, I think.
no
Yes.
Quran was burnt.
Right.
Then on the basis of that, they registered an FIR.
Right.
In the FIR, it is stated that after getting that statement made by these media persons, they went to the place of occurrence and they examined the victims and recorded their statements. In the FIR, on the contrary, contradictory statement. In the FIR, they have mentioned, police is mentioning that they went to the place of occurrence, they asked the victims whether Quran was burned or not. And in the FIR, it is mentioned that they replied in affirmative. That goes to show that even the victims are admitting that their Qurans are burned.
That is mentioned in the FIR.
It is mentioned by the police in the FIR itself that during investigation they inquired about the claim made by these media persons.
Okay.
And they have mentioned it in the FIR.
Right.
And that is practically in Tripura, there are so many reports that so many mosques are attacked, vandalized.
Right.
So many shops belonging to Muslim community, those are set in fire.
Okay.
Otherwise, or they are looted.
So the court, okay, but in summary, the court seemed to at least find there were enough grounds to grant them bail, though I think they've said that they need to appear before the police and so on. But Pramod Swami of the BJP, now, isn't this becoming increasingly a case where just in order to control the political narrative, anyone who is doing anything which challenges the political narrative is getting picked up? Cases filed, UAPA filed, now 2 journalists arrested. Why is the government shooting the messenger rather than going after those who are responsible for the violence?
देखिए, अभी विभिन्न वक्ताओं ने कहा कि संविधान और कानून सबसे ऊपर है और हमारे लोकतंत्र के 4 स्तंभ है, विधायिका, कार्यपालिका, न्यायपालिका और मीडिया।
जी।
अगर ये चारों सही रूप से अगर अपना कार्य करे तो मेरे ख्याल से समस्याएं काफी कम जाती। लेकिन यहाँ समस्या क्या हुई कि जिन 2 जर्नलिस्टों का नाम आप ले रहे हैं, उन लोगों ने एक फेक न्यूज चलवाई और उस फेक न्यूज के द्वारा उन्होंने मस्जिद और कुरान को क्षति होने की बात कही, जो बिल्कुल गलत थी। और उस फेक न्यूज
नहीं, आपने मेरा इंट्रोडक्शन नहीं सुना। एक्चुअली जो पुलिस की जो FIR है, त्रिपुरा पुलिस ने खुद FIR में कहा है कि उस मस्जिद को जलाया गया था। वो डिनाई नहीं कर रहे हैं इस बात
नहीं। आज जो MHA का जो ट्विटर में जो क्लेरिफिकेशन आया है, आपने शायद उसको देखा नहीं है। हमने
MHA का क्लैरिफिकेशन देखा है। MHA का क्लैरिफिकेशन और त्रिपुरा पुलिस के दोनों स्टेटमेंट्स में एक कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है। दोनों अलग अलग चीज कह रहे हैं।
देखिए, ये बात तो अब चूंकि मामला कोर्ट में है तो इसके ऊपर में न्यायालय इस बात को तय करेगा। लेकिन उनकी जो गिरफ्तारी हुई है वो इस बेसिस के ऊपर में गिरफ्तारी हुई है कि वो दुष्प्रचार करके वहां सांप्रदायिक जो माहौल है उसको विनष्ट करने का प्रयास कर रहे थे।
मैं कह रहा हूं कि दुष्प्रचार आप तभी कहेंगे when there is some evidence कि there was fake news, but I just said कि वो खुद पुलिस मान रही है कि उस मस्जिद को जलाया गया था। जलाए हुए मस्जिद के फोटोज वीडियोस भी चल रहे हैं, उसको किसी ने कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट नहीं किया। So I am saying how is this justify arrest? अगर मान लीजिए उन्होंने कुछ गलत भी कहा है, उनको फोन करके कहा जा सकता था कि भाई आप क्लैरिफाई करिए इसको, राइट? There is a counter view. How can you arrest?
अगर कोई, मैं बता रहा हूं, अगर कोई जर्नलिस्ट हो या कोई राजनेता हो या कोई अन्य पदाधिकारी हो किसी अन्य क्षेत्र में काम करने वाला, अगर वो कानून में हाथ में लेगा तो क्या उसके ऊपर में कार्रवाई नहीं होनी चाहिए?
नहीं, पर वही तो कहना, कानून क्या हाथ में लिया अभी तक क्लियर नहीं है। Anyway, मैं आता हूं आपके पास, बट आई वांट टू आस्क यशोवर्धन आजाद, because Yasho Azad, as Justice Deepak Gupta was saying, that if you saw the as they say chronology, if you saw the chronology, first the VHP, which is actually an accused in this case, is a party, files an FIR against these journalists. The Home Ministry then comes out with a statement saying these are fake reports, and all within 48 hours, then these young women are picked up. So is it fair to just keep blaming the police when clearly there is some kind of pressure on them?
No, let me start with something else. You know, it is a norm for the last so many decades in the districts that in sensitive matters, first, the veracity of the report has to be checked, as is being checked here. And secondly, on very, very sensitive matters, you do not touch upon. So in this case, they said even the burning down of mosques, etc., in our times was never mentioned. But anyway, it was mentioned and it is there in the FIR. But what is even more sensitive is the Quran.
Right.
Now the question is, we may go into the details and say, usko isne kaha tha, inka koi intention nahi tha, ye baat dusri. But to mention Quran itself is a highly sensitive thing in an inflammatory, environment. So I think these are students, this Jha, I just read about them, that they are students. Normally, a senior journalist would not have mentioned it. Now, there are ways to handle this situation that happens. I know the entire story. The VHP went on this procession spree after that, whatever happened in Bangladesh. And you see, that was the time definitely government should have come down hard, that in a situation like this, we don't allow all these processions, because it's a wrong thing to do.
So by the way, I agree with you. I agree with you that I think that it could have been handled much more sensitively, when it comes to particularly, like you talk of the burning of holy books. I myself have covered riots and communal situations where you see things which you don't necessarily report. But having said that, even if you've gone ahead and reported it, the question is, as Justice Deepak Gupta was saying, does that still merit the extreme act of arrest? Right? There are ways in which you can try to tackle those situations.
See, but the mistake has been done from one side, and the mistake became a double jeopardy because the police did the same from the other side.
Right.
What technically, if you say the journalist did was correct, though it should not have been done. So from the police side, if you see that technically, burning of Quran, I mean, if you write anywhere, it's going to create a, furor. And when we were in the districts, we were most sensitive about these things.
No, I agree with you. But also, Yasho, remember that the police is not charged them for they're saying it's fake news, that no such thing happened, not the fact that you've shown something sensitive and therefore we are punishing you. So that also is a bit of a area of legal ambiguity, but I take your wider point. But I take your wider point that one has to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
But the worry here is that this is happening in a context where, and Piyush Kanti Biswas, I think this is a challenge that is now we're seeing in Tripura. As Justice Gupta said, he was, Chief Justice. He hadn't seen this kind of response before, where already 100+ people have been booked under UAPA, not even, more run-of-the-mill IPC, CRPC, anti-terror law. Journalists, lawyers, people who went on fact-finding missions. Is this Piyush Kanti Biswas? What is driving this, you think?
Sir, really, you see, so many incidents took place in Tripura. That is vandalizing that mosque, shops, and other. Not a single person has been arrested till now. Now, these two young girls, aged about 23, 24
eight people,
years.
According to the police, sorry to jump in, they say 8 people have been arrested for the rioting.
For the rioting, but not for vandalizing these mosques or burning the shops, and so far my information goes. Now, police, what are their, these offences, Supreme Court laid down the laws that the offences punishable up to 7 years. Police should not go for arrest, and they should issue notice. And also that they observe that if any police officer or police officer violates this direction and the magistrates remand, detain any person on the basis of the prayer of the police, against them also disciplinary proceedings will be initiated. And
Okay,
but
but
these police,
yeah, I'm not sure if that will happen in
they
this
have to
scenario.
issue notice.
Okay,
They could have issued notice
right.
under Section 41 CRPC.
Right.
And what has prompted them? These young girls, there is no allegation of that they are promoting enmity between different groups on the ground of religion. Only allegation that they have mentioned that Quran was burned. That is the only allegation.
Right.
There is nothing more than this.
Okay.
So,
okay. But Pramod Swami जी, मेरा ये कहना है कि आप कह रहे थे कि लॉ सबके लिए सब बराबर हैं लॉ के अंडर, बट फैक्ट ये है कि जिन लोगों ने एक्चुअल वायलेंस किया, जिन्होंने जो भी जलाया किया तोड़फोड़, उनका टोटल नंबर अरेस्ट हुआ है 8। और बाय द वे जिन्होंने भड़काऊ, वीएचपी ने जो प्रोसेशंस निकाले बहुत ही भड़काऊ, ऐसे बयान दिए जो हम दिखा नहीं सकते एयर पे, उन पे अभी कार्रवाई की है कि नहीं ये तो हमें मालूम ही नहीं है। सो टोटल नंबर हुए अरेस्ट 8 और टोटल नंबर ऑफ पीपल जिनके अगेंस्ट यूएपीए लगा है 102 जो जर्नलिस्ट हैं, लॉयर। आप समझ सकते हैं कितना अजीब सिचुएशन है। जो एक्चुअल अपराधी हैं, जो दंगाई हैं, वो सिर्फ 8 और दूसरी तरफ 102। तो आप कैसे कह सकते हैं कि लॉ सबके लिए बराबर है?
देखिए, अभी पीयूष कांति जी जो पीसीसी के पूर्व अध्यक्ष रहे हैं, उन्होंने कहा कि उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया, उन्होंने तो सिर्फ इतना ही चलाया।
अब मैं वाइडर पॉइंट पे हूं। मैं इस केस मैं वाइडर पॉइंट पे हूं कि अगर लॉ बराबर है, इस तरफ 8 एक्चुअल राइटर्स और दूसरी तरफ 102।
मैं बता रहा हूं, आपको जवाब दे रहा हूं, 1 मिनट मेरे को बोलने दीजिए। अभी जो पीयूष कांति जी ने कहा कि उन्होंने जो जर्नलिस्ट है उन्होंने सिर्फ कुरान जलाने की न्यूज दी है, क्या इससे बड़ी खतरनाक और कोई न्यूज हो सकती है क्या? यशोवर्धन जी जो पूर्व आईएएस है, उन्होंने खुद कहा कि जर्नलिस्ट को इस तरह की न्यूज स्प्रेड करने से पहले, इस तरह की न्यूज प्रचारित करने से पहले बहुत बार सोचना चाहिए, क्योंकि इस तरह की जो न्यूज है वो पूरा एक का माहौल पूरे देश में पैदा कर सकती है।
अब मेरा सवाल का जवाब दीजिए। उस पॉइंट यशोवर्धन जी ने वो पॉइंट कहा, आई एग्री विद हिम, लेकिन पुलिस का केस फेक न्यूज का है, विच इज नॉट क्लियर कि ये फेक है कि नहीं। दैट्स अ सेपरेट मैटर। अब मुझे बताइए 1 सेकेंड, 8 अरेस्ट इस तरफ और 102 यूएपीए केसेस एक तरफ। हाउ डू यू से कि लॉ इज द सेम?
मैं बता रहा हूं, मैं कंक्लूड कर रहा हूं। उस न्यूज की प्रतिक्रिया ये हुई कि मालेगांव तक में ये आज
सर अब आप मेरे सवाल का जवाब मैं तीसरी या चौथी बार पूछ रहा हूं, फिर मुझे आगे बढ़ना पड़ेगा। मैं फिर
इसको घटना मत समझिए। और कानून जो है वो सबके लिए बराबर है। अगर किसी ने दोष किया है तो निश्चित रूप से कानूनी कार्रवाई उसके ऊपर होगी।
अभी तक क्यों नहीं हुई है? अभी तक वीएचपी के किसी भी व्यक्ति को अभी तक उनके खिलाफ एक्शन, गिरफ्तारी क्यों नहीं हुई है?
ये निर्णय तो कानून करेगा। ये तो मैं नहीं, ये निर्णय मैं यहाँ बैठ के मैं तो ये निर्णय मैं नहीं कर सकता ना। ये निर्णय कानून।
लेकिन आप बहुत कानून पे भरोसा की तरह कह रहे हैं कि कानून सबके लिए बराबर तरीके से अप्लाई किया जा रहा है। अगर किया जा रहा है तो फिर उनका अरेस्ट तो होना चाहिए।
आपको अगर कानून पे भरोसा नहीं हो सकता है, लेकिन मेरे को कानून पे भरोसा है।
आपको कानून पे भरोसा इतना है कि एक तरफ 8 लोगों का सिर्फ अरेस्ट हुआ है, वीएचपी वालों की कोई के खिलाफ कोई एक्शन नहीं हुआ है, तब भी आप इतना भरोसा रख रहे हैं। ये आपको बधाई। अच्छा यशोवर्धन आजाद, यस यू वांटेड टू कमेंट?
नहीं गिराई गई, प्रचार कर करके।
ओके प्रमोद जी, आई थिंक औरों को भी मौका दीजिए जी। यस यशोवर्धन आजाद, यस।
You know, it is quite clear, Vasu, that this action is absolutely unbalanced and is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous to put 102 cases of UAPA for some social media post, even when they say Tripura is burning, which they shouldn't have written. That's a different thing. The question here is that today the state governments have virtually, reneged on their role of governance. And in a situation like this, the earlier governments would not see any side because it was a matter of pride that there is no communal situation which has occurred in your state. But unfortunately today, it looks like that the communal situations like this give advantage to certain political parties. And this is what I feel which is happening.
Right. Because
Tripura, as rightly Justice Gupta said, was a very, very good state. They were fighting terrorists and the police was successful in fighting terrorism in Tripura. Okay. So this is extremely unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, but let's see how this pans out. But thank you all so much for joining me. We're completely out of time. Thank you so much for watching Reality Check. Good night.